In my view, here are the 5 mistakes people make in their 20s that guarantee they will have a hard life. Mistake number 1, not having an adequate understanding of the world we live in. There are many reasons why this is so, but one of the most persistent reasons is that a person's upbringing is far from perfect. I am not blaming anyone. I'm just stating facts and figures. That's why, for example, Robert Kiyosaki wrote a best-selling book titled, If You Want to Be Rich and Happy, Don't Go to School. You can even write a book titled, If You Want to Be Happy, Don't Get Married. This does not mean that I am against schooling and marriage. Far from it. I am for schooling and marriage. However, the world we live in may be described as volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, dangerous, and highly competitive. So if you don't understand this kind of world, you will survive with great difficulty. For example, do you know how to spot fraud and scams in every arena of life? Religion, finance, investing, government, food industry, and the medical sector. When you don't know how to thrive in this kind of world, it will lead to a pressure cooker life that will stress your health, relationship, marriage, and finances. All these will eventually lead to the breakdown of the family, the basic unit of society. Mistake number 2, having a distorted self-image. So to enjoy the journey, a young person must have the iron in him or her to meet each of these elements. Volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity, danger, and competitiveness. An unexamined life is not worth living, because if you don't examine your own life, how can you ever know where you have a competitive advantage and where you are vulnerable? There are many free online psychometric tests a young person can take to know oneself better. Having sufficient self-knowledge empowers you to apply this wise rule that Jack Welch lives by. If you don't have a competitive advantage, don't compete. Mistake number 3, inability to delay gratification. Life is difficult. Life is difficult because life is a series of problems that will continue to come at us whether we like it or not. Discipline is a set of tools or habits that can be used to solve the problems of living effectively and efficiently. With no discipline, we solve 0 problems. With some discipline, we solve some problems. With more discipline, we solve more problems. One tool of discipline is to learn how to delay gratification. The human brain has a small portion called the reptilian or lizard brain. It is a low-level portion of the brain that deals with binary thinking. Is it edible? Should I fight or run? Should I rest or work? Should I fornicate? By pandering to these simplistic approaches, we will be seeking immediate gratification without thinking about more important things such as consequences, medium-term goals, long-term goals, and the end game. If our lizard brain is more dominant than our neocortex, we may become our own worst enemy. The best solution to tackle this tendency is to seek wisdom and live by principles, values, and virtues. This requires a humble spirit to keep on learning new things until we pass on. Mistake number 4, having an unruly relationship with money. Some young people, for whatever reasons, grow up with an unhealthy relationship with money. Some young people may think money is everything. Others may think that money is the root of all evils. Still, others think that talking about money is materialistic, immoral, or antisocial. The truth is that money is a two-edged sword. It can cut either way, so you must have a set of best practices regarding personal finance. Money can be used to do good. It allows schools, houses, and hospitals to be built. It is a measure of diligence and creativity or our laziness and cynicism. So to correct this mistake, young people can learn from such exemplary people as, in terms of seniority, Li Ka-shing, the responsibility-centered billionaire from Hong Kong, Warren Buffett, the frugal billionaire from the US, and Ray Dalio, the principle-centered billionaire from the US. Mistake number 5, not valuing time. When you are young, you feel you have plenty of time, so you tend to waste it. You seek pleasure rather than training. You don't keep records of your activities, money management, time schedules, and goals. Accountability and responsibility are farthest from your mind. The idea of rituals to manage time, energy, and money seems too difficult. Young people think, I'm still young. Yet the reality is that time and tide wait for no man. Soon, your youth hormone production may have fallen below 50%. It is also wise to consider what time it is. There is an appointed time for everything. And there is a time for every event under heaven. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. What is time? Time is today. Look to this day. For it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and realities of your existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty, for yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow only a vision, but today well lived makes every yesterday a dream of happiness and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well therefore to this day. Such is the salutation to the dawn. Today well lived means that we must treasure time, in order to sustain things that are precious to us, such as our worthy goals, family, friends, health, relationships, nation, and last but not least the very life energy that keeps us alive. To bonus lessons. Mistake number 6, inviting disease. Having unhealthy habits that will lead you to the wheelchair and hospital. So practice healthy habits such as a principle-centered life, stress management, a whole food plant-dense high-fiber diet, intermittent fasting, spiritual growth, exercise, sleep, and recreation or meditation. Mistake number 7, inability to team up with others in win-win partnerships. Learn how to move from individualism to common good, moving from I to we.